Callie. Let's just check that. Yeah, I think it was Captain Callie who gave him a little nudge, makes him lose a tyre. So Captain Callie in the naughty books in 6th place at the moment with a little bit of action with Drux, which costs Drux the race. But T-Mac still in 1st, Jimmy Tulipan in 2nd. Bibby's got himself up to 3rd with Seb H in 4th and Don. But T-Mac still in 1st, Jimmy Tulipan in 2nd. Bibby's got himself up to 3rd with Seb H in 4th and Don Titor in 5th. So some really good racing from everyone so far, with maybe the exception of that little incident we saw with Drux there. But it looks like for the remainder of this race, Jimmy Tulipan is going to push T-Mac all the way to the wire here. And it is go, go, go here for this 1st place position. So thank you for joining us live on Twitch here this evening. Apologies, the suit has not made it on this evening. I do look like an absolute wreck this evening. It was a last-minute decision to stream at all. I am feeling slightly under the weather, but I wanted to make sure we brought all the action live to the people who wanted to watch it, regardless of how I'm feeling. So apologies, I'm still even in my my coaching gear for my football earlier on today. So I just thought I'd jump straight on. But yeah, we're on board with Jimmy Tulipan. Bibby in 3rd, although he's slowly catching the pack as well. So we could see, with the amount of time left, maybe a 3-horse race. What does it mean when the position icon is red? Good question, Tub Thumper. That means they've got a race penalty. I've not wanted to flick onto these penalties yet, because of course it does do this and it gets in the way of the screen slightly, but you can see the penalties here. So Aero Motorsport's got a 1 second penalty, VXR Thrasher's got a 3 second, Sin's got a 2, and Art and Benner down in 11th with a 2. So that's what the red marks mean. It is for race penalties. Which will of course affect the final standings. But Jimmy Tulipan, you can see how close he is here, and he might have forced T-Mac off the road nearly there. That's how close. You were probably on my camera as I probably lost a tyre while you were talking. Yes, indeed we were, Drux. For race penalties, which will of course affect the final standings. But Jimmy Tulipan, you can see how close he is here, and he might have forced T-Mac off the road nearly there. That's how close. You were probably on my camera as I probably lost a tyre while you were talking. Yes, indeed we were, Drux. So yeah, unfortunately, Drux, yeah, we did see that little nudge. From what we saw, it looked like a nudge from Captain Callie, which made you lose a tyre. We did see a replay on the stream earlier on, but Jimmy Tulipan's going to go for it here. Tries to make an early manoeuvre on T-Mac into this next corner. Hasn't quite got the pace again, but he's pushing T-Mac all the way. We see a little bit of a lock-up there, but Bibby, as we said earlier, he was catching, and he has joined this race for 1st place now. But yeah, certainly was bad lucks from Drux. Bad lucks from Drux. Yeah, really unfortunate, as you were doing really, really well. But we're still on board with this race. We've not long left of the race to go. The top 3 are really going at it. It's Seb H in 4th, Don Tito in 5th. They're quite far behind at the moment. But unfortunately, we are not going to take our eyes off this race for 1st place, because this is, of course, where maximum points are. As you can see from the yellow exclamation marks on the race director screen, there are other battles going on around the track. But this is where the points are. So we do want to keep on board with this where we can to try and see how this pans out. But so we're going to stick on board with Jimmy Tulipan. He's in the middle of this T-Mac and Bibby sandwich for the final few moments of this race. And T-Mac so far has done really, really well to hold off the advances of Jimmy Tulipan. Bibby now amongst the action as well, slightly off the pace as Jimmy Tulipan just goes off the track slightly there. But we've seen some excellent racing from these guys so far between these two, nice and clean. And hopefully that remains for the rest of the race. But I thought Bibby was going to make a little move there on Jimmy Tulipan. These 3 are so close, and as I said, if someone goes late on the brakes or early on the brakes and doesn't read what the other person does, we could see some sparks fly. But Jimmy Tulipan making a move here. He's managed to nudge in front of T-Mac going into this next corner, but unfortunately for him, the corner bends the wrong way, so he hasn't got the inside line, which gives T-Mac the opportunity to attack back. And he does, and Bibby's gone down on the inside as well, so Bibby's making an attack for 2nd place. But again, the corners have not been kind to him, doesn't quite have the angle to keep there, but we nearly saw Bibby up into 2nd place there, but Jimmy Tulipan holds on for 2nd with T-Mac still in 1st. Seb H in 4th, just behind, and Seb H is again slowly catching I don't think there's going to be enough time for him to catch this chasing pack, but these three are going to go at it all the way to the end of this race. I mean, it nearly looks like we've got some touching of the wheels going on there, so close, but Jimmy Tillerman has not got long left to make a manoeuvre here on T-Mac. He's going to have to choose his moment wisely, or he might just settle for second place and snap up second place points, of course, but we shall see. So it looks like Bibby's attack on first place is over for the time being, as he drops behind very slightly, but here we go, the fans are cheering, and the race is complete. So T-Mac holds on to first place. It's Jimmy Tulipan second, Bibby in third, Seb H in fourth.